It is Obi-Wan Kenobi Wednesday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. Let's begin by chanting or reciting an excerpt. From the vast expanse of the diamond-like mind, also known as Dorje Sempa Namka Che. It was composed by Prahe Vajra approximately 1400 years ago, translated from the Tibetan by Chokyo Namkai Norbu, translated from the Italian by Adriano Clemente, adapted and amplified by yours truly. So what I'd like to do is for us to relaxingly recite this passage 4 times, and intermittently, I'll throw in some explanation, just to make it more fun. Together. Being spontaneously present, it is beyond dedicating. Pure from the beginning, it is like nectar. The 12 sense bases are not to be particularly focused upon with special intention. Okay, so think of it this way. 12 sense bases could also be described as the 18 sense bases. Is just a fun way of describing it. So think of it this way. There are visual objects, there are auditory phenomena, there are sensory, sensual phenomena, there are gustatory phenomena, there are olfactory phenomena. There are sights, there are sounds, there are sensations, there are flavors, there are scents. There are our physical organs that can see and hear and feel and taste and smell. And then there is the mental perception of the sensory input, the visual awareness, the auditory awareness, the sensual awareness, the gustatory awareness, the olfactory awareness. Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. What does that suckiness look like? It looks like most of humanity being raised to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. And so we've been taught to be controlling. We've been taught to be rigid and to concentrate. And then we wonder why our brain gets fatigued, our emotions get fatigued, why we become more agitated and more aggressive. It's because we are over-relying upon the front of our brain. Every healthy human has a sympathetic nervous system that was wired for us to perceive, that has evolved for us to perceive vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. And so we are to notice, instead of focusing, we are to notice. Instead of concentrating, we are supposed to do so without a special intention. Just noticing whatever comes up. Whether that which comes up is external or internal or physical or mental or pleasurable or painful or interesting or boring or glorious or grotesque. Let's continue. Being spontaneously present, it is beyond dedicating. Pure from the beginning, it is like nectar. The 12 sense bases are not to be particularly focused upon with special intention. So, being spontaneously present is a funny thing. For many, many centuries, foolish people, often with the best of intentions, have confused mindfulness with concentration. But they're different. As we mentioned, concentration relies upon distinct neural pathways such as the let's see. Such as the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and there's another one. I'd like to look that up real quick. Please bear with me. Yes, the medial prefrontal cortex. That's what I was thinking of. Ooh, don't I feel silly? Okay, so let's return. So instead of relying on our medial prefrontal cortex, we can rely upon our sympathetic nervous system. And that's what it means to be spontaneously present. In the present moment, we can notice the past. In the present moment, we might conject of the future. In the present moment, we might think about here. In the present moment, we might think about there. That's fine. Being spontaneous. So let us pretend there are three ways to be present. On one extreme, we have contrivance. It's buttoned down tight. On the other extreme, we have scatteredness. And in the midpoint between these two extremes, we have centered spontaneity. So, centered spontaneity, contrary to the ravings of religious patriarchy, is not the product of making offerings and reciting prayers and doing bows and all that stuff. It is beyond that stuff. It's pure from the beginning. We are already evolved to notice as we breathe in. We are already evolved to relax as we breathe out due to our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. The path to enlightenment is simply cooperating with our autonomic nervous system. Now let us recite a third time. Being spontaneously present, it is beyond dedicating, pure from the beginning, it is like nectar. The 12 sense bases are not to be particularly focused upon with special intention. Being spontaneously present, it is beyond dedicating, pure from the beginning, it is like nectar. The 12 sense bases are not to be particularly focused upon with special intention. Having completed our opening recitation, let's take about 30 seconds for housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. And now we turn our attention to the very latest iteration of very easy meditation practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. Together. Whatever comes, may all beings notice, relax and flow. Whatever stays, may all beings notice, relax and flow. Whatever goes, may all beings notice, relax and flow. Upon the tip of our left little finger, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger, palms up in our lap. Remember, as we inhale, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, we are already wired to notice in a very special way, to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. And yes, every time we exhale, thanks to our parasympathetic nervous system, we are wired to both physically relax as well as mentally release. It might be easiest to feel our inhalation at our gut. It might be easiest to feel our exhalation through our nostrils. While performing the Pilates scoop, we might want to silently and mentally recite the verb noticing during our inhalation, and then we might wish to silently and mentally recite the verb relaxing during our exhalation. Welcome to the second quarter of this evening's group meditation. Upon the tip of our left ring finger, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, palms up in our lap. Every time we inhale, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, we have evolved to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception. You know, sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including the full spectrum of human emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings. What do we do with that which we noticed? Every time we exhale, thanks to our parasympathetic nervous system, we are wired for both physical relaxation as well as mental release. Some people find it easiest to feel their inhalation in their gut. Some people find it easiest to feel their exhalation through their nostrils. We could silently and mentally recite the verbs noticing and relaxing in coordination with our respective inhalations and exhalations. Upon the tip of our left middle finger, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever duality of lack or boon we might have noticed during our previous inhalation can feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just the circumstantial. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever duality of pain or bliss we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just the physical. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever duality of scorn or praise we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just the interpersonal. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever shame or fame we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just the mental. We might best feel our inhalation in our guts and our exhalation through our nostrils. We could silently and mentally recite the verbs noticing and releasing in harmony with our respective inhalations and exhalations, that we might watch the antics of mind and relax into their non-graspable nature. Ahem. Upon the tip of our left index finger, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, palms up in our lap. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever hate we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was becoming more like mirror-like wisdom. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever greed we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could could be could feel like it was becoming more like discerning wisdom. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever confusion we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could become more like all-pervading wisdom. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever jealousy we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could become more like all-accomplishing wisdom. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever pride we might have noticed during our previous inhalation becomes more like equalizing wisdom. Some find it easiest to notice from their gut, while others find it easier. Let me rephrase this. Some people might find it easier to notice their inhalation from their gut, and others might find it easier to relax into their exhalation as they sense the breath leaving through their nostrils. Either way, we could silently and mentally recite the verbs noticing and releasing in harmony with our respective inhalations and exhalations. This is the final section of this evening's practice, so let's make it count. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.